It's known as our 2x2 formation. Race change, now we go racing for the first time this season. 3 hours of GT action, it's go.
It's very tight as they come down. Group of cars coming in. This has all got trouble written all over it. There's a G3 car.
Drop downhill, they head towards the Aqua Minerale. Imola, of course. There's another one off through the gravel. As wide as possible as they drop downhill, putting that truck inside line. Yes, he did. Through he goes.
Good evening and welcome to Race 2 of AOR Season 12. We are in the Circuit of the Americas. This is the Tier 1 boys. We're about to go live for an hour and a bit's worth of racing. It is me, RageF1, as always. But unfortunately, I won't be joined by TwinBarrelJay this evening because he is predisposed. I've heard he's about 2 foot inside of a wildebeest right now, so we'll leave him to his own weird fantasies whilst he gets out of that wildebeest, and we'll go straight into what's going on in the Circuit of the Americas. Let's just get a bird's eye view of what we've got on the ground right now, and we're about 5 minutes into practice. Let's just summarise what happened last time out. Last time we were live with AOR, we had the winner, Luke Whitehead, currently sitting at top of the spot because there's only been one race so far with 100 points. Just behind him is George Boothby. If you remember correctly, we had Grantis Caracas in third place, so he's got himself 79 points. Mikhail Statsenko in fourth place with 72 points, and Matthias Kuhn in fifth place with 65. We go back further, Tinker van der Velde, Luke Southall, Tadeusz Juknificus, and then Valentin Barrier in P9, and followed up by Jardier in P10. Good start from them. It looks like it's a very Honda favourable track, this, so we might see some Honda boys up there where you haven't seen them before, but currently running round pace, Tinker van der Velde smashing practice with Grantis Caracas just behind. Konoslav, Abeladze, Barrier and Lee following. Durapetchenko, Whitehead, Phillips and Papin all in the picture too. So this could throw up some absolute belters this afternoon. I've got no idea of the pace of this track. It's completely new to a lot of us on here in AOR and also in ACC, so we'll just see what the pace is. I've got no idea what to expect this evening, so yeah, I'm excited to get going. As you can probably see, we've got some lovely liveries showing up now. It looks like Kolosov's got quite a nice little purple and gold number on there. Let's see if we can go a little bit closer to what he's doing action-wise. That's a funny old track, this. You guys, I think that's Remy Papin doing donuts in the in the pit in the background. We're about to go live, I think, guys, for the actual race, but we'll go on board, I think, with Luke Whitehead to take us around the latter end of the lap. I do have a track guide somewhere. We'll get straight into it. Hard braking into turn 12. Double right-hander for 13 and 14. And a weird kind of sweeping corner here at 15 and 16. It's actually the first time I've seen GT3 racing around the Circuit of the Americas. I haven't divulged into the new DLC as much as I probably should have done. But I'm sure this is going to be absolute chaos through Sector 1. Turn 1 is known for its absolute madness anyway, so I'm sure that's going to be good fun for these boys. I'm sure some of the guys on the grid here probably haven't raced this before, although they may have practiced it. It'll be very good to see the pace that they are able to extract from the cars. Currently 3/10 up Luke Whitehead here, so he might hop up to the top spot in practice. I think he'll dethrone Kolosov. Timing line really far down, and he didn't. Okay, fair enough. Stays where he is for Luke Whitehead then for practice. Remember, this is only practice. We've got a lot of time to go yet. Mini Simeon, welcome back. You're going to watch the whole race with us this afternoon. I'm afraid it's just me. Jamie is disposed, unfortunately. Jester, welcome. Good evening to you too. That hairpin, though. I know, right? It's going to throw up some absolute disasters this race. I can see it. What I'm going to do for you guys, I am going to start a little poll. There we go. Give us your feedback. Who's going to win today? Will it be the likes of Luke Whitehead? Will it be Tinker Van der Velde, George Boothby, or Grantis Karakas? Saying that, anyone else up for a win here? Abeladze doing very well so far. Kolosov completely missed him out, so you never know. Kolosov could have an absolute blinder. Luke Whitehead looks like he's a little bit at sea today. Who knows where some of these guys stand. Valentine Barrier, really? I'm going to come up with Barrier after all that? Not too sure. Caracas, not Caracas. I've been calling him Grantis Caracas for ages, so it's sticking, I'm afraid. Caracas. Luke Whitehead stops in the pit as we're about to go live for this part of the race then. Small little wait. I have no idea when it comes to pace here. I tried to keep a small eye on what was going on during that practice session. It looked like the Hondas were very strong, but Tinker Van der Velde with a very good time there. Kolosov put in probably the best of the rest, and then Grantis Caracas, there we go. I'm still going to call him Caracas, in third place in a Porsche. So that opens the door for Luke Whitehead. Matthias Kuhn, De Campo back there. You never know. We'll have to wait and see. I think a lot of these guys are going to be slightly cautious when it comes to the pace around here. They just don't know. They just don't know. I still remember Dave. I know Dara. He's not with us this season. No Dara. I think we probably got some changes to the lineup tonight. We had 50 drivers available to us, so we probably got a few changes going into this qualifying session. Let's see who's out first. Tinker Van der Velde looks like he wants to get on with this session as fast as he can. He's right there in the Williams Esports car. It's black. I'm pretty sure it shouldn't be, but it is. Obviously not found his paint again, but some of the drivers here this afternoon have. We'll go on board with Tinker Van der Velde. Currently top of the practice times. He's got Makovin and Tadas just ahead. Juknavicius. That's a very hard name to say for us English. And what kind of time are we today? Qualifying at 11 AM. We've got some lights on the grid. Some cloudy weather. Track's fast. Temperature 20 degrees. Track temp 24. A little bit colder out there. Got a fast track. These cars are going to be winding some heat into that rubber in this first outing. We won't go fastest, I don't think. It'll take a few to get this track a little bit more rubbered in, or at least get the cars up to speed. Tinker Van der Velde going round the outside in a qualifying session. Driving by the seat of his pants already. You can see the cars weaving in the background to get some heat into those tyres. Let's go, Harry. Whereabouts is Harry Phillips this afternoon? Let's have a little look if we can go down the grid. See if we can find Harry Phillips. Oh God, he's pulled over. We got rain, guys. We have rain already. We have rain. So it looks like Harry Phillips pulled it straight into the pits to change his tyres. And you can see there some of the tyres changing straight away. Harry Phillips has put on the wet weather tyre already. you can see on the side when the yellow Pirelli sign disappears and it goes flat black along the whole of the tyre wall, they have changed to the wet tyre. So Harry Phillips is the first to pull the trigger on the wet tyre this afternoon. I don't know if anyone else has done the same. See if we can get closer to these guys and see if we can find out what kind of tyres they've put on. That's McWilliam. He is also on the dry tyre. Tinker van der Velde, he's I would have thought he's on the dry tyre. So we've got somewhat of a benchmark with Harry Phillips here, with some wet weather tyres going on. Are we going to see drivers pull it in or put a lap in? McCovin desperately trying to get some heat into the tyres, or is that it might be Tadeusz Jikvanicius trying to get some heat into his tyres? It is. Tadeusz knows that the rain's coming down, desperately trying to get a little bit of heat into the tyre. A bit early for that, it's only light rain. Yes, it is, but the track is greasy, so I mean, yeah, you should go fastest now, so you never know. Your boy might have thrown away his chances. That's Harry Phillips on the wet tyre already. Interesting strategies. Will it play out for him? We'll have to wait and see. As Tadeusz goes wide and actually misses the chicane completely. Let's see how Tinker van der Velde is coping with this absolute chaos in the weather department. It's greasy, but it looks worse than that. First lap, we've got some rain. And I think we're going to have a little bit of a surprise here. Anton Tarasov, I think, has pulled it into the pit or is out of this session. I can't actually find him. Who else have we got in the pit? Abeladze decided to come in and change his tack. George Boothby still out there pounding laps. Harry Phillips out there on the wet tyre. Let's see what he does with the pace. Let's go back on board with Tinker van der Velde, see what he's doing at the moment. He's got Jura Petrochenko for company behind. Or is it? No, it's not. It's not Jura back there. It's Dimitrov or Walsingham. I can't quite tell you, unfortunately. Looks like the pack is a bit mixed up. It's not Jura Petrochenko because he's in a Ferrari, and that's definitely not a Ferrari. It's one of those rare German Ferraris. What did Tadeusz decide to do, apart from running over curbs? McCovin, is he still out? I think he is. What kind of tyre is he on? A little bit lost at sea with tyres right now. I hope it gives you a better clue of what the tyre's doing. He's on dry still as well. Right, so Tinker van der Velde is going to be our first of the dry runner. Really, I think Tadeusz Jikvanicius is going to give us a little bit of a wrong time, if not no time at all. Right, so Tinker van der Velde is going to be the first of this pack that's going to come across the line. And he's followed closely, I think, by Tarasov and Nikita Bogrodovsky. So Tinko's got a lap in, scrappy lap at that, but he's got one in. No idea where we're going to be on times here. It's definitely going to be 2 minutes something. 2 minute 12. Barrier behind, but only just. Skarakas in third place. Jura Petrochenko in fourth. Tinker van der Velde pushed all the way down then. Borogodovsky looks like he got a better time in. Nikita currently leading. Valentin Barrier third place. Samir Foch in sixth, and he's pushing on. What kind of tyres Samir got on? Let's see. It's probably still on the dries. Harry Phillips, has he crossed the line yet? P14, no time set. We'll see what Phillips is doing, because that is very interesting when it comes to the tyre. Has he got one in? He hasn't. He's just about to come across the line. He's next over. P15. Not sure he's actually got a time in, you know. It was P15, but he's disappeared for me. I think he might have pulled it into the pit. Whereabouts is he, Mr. Phillips? Let's see. Not got a time in yet. It's coming through 15, 16. No idea on the kind of pace here with the wet tyre. Changed up fast, 100%. The track's damp. The rain came down quickly, puddled quickly as well. There was no worn-in, rubbered line, so it was just absolutely pounded that wet weather on nothing, really. Let's see what Phillips can do. This is going to be a real test, I think, of the actual time. What is he? 2:08, 9, 10, 11. It's not going to be good enough. It's going to be good. Fourth place for Harry Phillips. Nikita leading then still. Don't think we're going to see any changes there. Valentin Barrier and Grantis Caracas have come into the pits to, I'm assuming, change tyre. They're all waiting for it to get wetter, maybe. I don't know. We have got some changes then. That's the Aston Martin going out now of Bonsville's, I think, the 999 car on wet tyres. There are some other wet cars preparing themselves. That's Harry Phillips, you can see in the front of the picture. And the 72 car, that is... can't remember off the top of my head. 72 is Valentin Barrier. He's gone out on the wet tyre as well to get some wet running. I think it is now wet tyre time. The rain's properly coming down. It will dry up, though, but it says in 10 minutes' time. So, no, it won't. Before the race goes live, we're going to have a wet qualifying to the end. So these guys are going to have to find some pace on this tyre if they can. So I guess it's all laps. You might find that they stay out now all the way through this qualifying session and just pound in times. Don't think we've got any changes at the top. Valentin Barrier at second place. Nikita still winning and in the top spot. Caracas in third. Harry Phillips set that time in a wet situation, so 1 second off the pace with full wet tyres. It's not getting any faster, I don't think, out there. Jurapetchenko in third. That could be your grid today. Jardier in sixth. Seventh, Tinker van der Velde. Mateus Leitho in eighth. Samir Foch in ninth. We've got Naumann in 10th. I'm not sure we've met him so far. Julian Naumann, let's have a look where he is. Ranwelton Esports team. He's in P10 at the moment. Jonas Fawkes, he's in P11. Jamie Nuttall, Tier 2, Season 11 champion there. Visceral Esports driver. He is in P12 with Arthur Pattett just behind in the Ferrari. Mats Lynn Anderson. It's a good qualifying position for him for 14th. Remy Papin in 15th place with a fantastic livery, as always. Greasy track start might be hilarious with everyone changing back onto slicks and sliding over. You don't know what it's going to start. It could start something, completely different. I've got no idea. And I'm not sure these boys will do. We'll find out when it goes live because the time will change as well. We're 11 AM at the moment, but it might go green at 12, 1. I'm not too sure. And by that time, the track could have gone from greasy to green. Who knows? I've no idea where we'll be at the start of this race, but we'll find out not too soon. 6 minutes remaining then. I don't think we're going to have any changes. I'd be very surprised if we do. Ones to look at then. Valentin Barrier. No, he decided to pull it in. He's not going any faster out there. What's Harry Phillips doing? He thinks he can make some changes, some adjustments. This is where the time's going to be made up inside the top 4 or 5. Jurapetchenko out there as well. Pulls the car over. He doesn't think he can go any faster. Harry Phillips certainly thinks he can. Let's go on board with the young Brit. Wild Things Racing. I'll shut up and let you listen for a bit. No improvements, it seems. Not seeing anything at all from Mr. Phillips at the moment. He is a few tenths up. Well, it's half a tenth up, so it's going to be quite hard to improve. Still got a damp track. It's not raining anymore, so we might see a little flurry of people coming out. Saying that, Valentin Barrier wants to try. He is out now. Grantis is also out, coming through the S's. Oh, we can see how undrivable it is out there in these conditions, especially in a Porsche. Literally left, right, centre, sliding all over the place. Part of the Veloce team. Talking of Veloce, where is your boy who should be taking part this afternoon? I can't find him. Luke Whitehead is coming out now. Alright, well there you go. Interesting. Current championship leader is out on the track. It's wet. He's not got a time in. So what will the number 55 get on with this afternoon? I'm not too sure how he's going to class. I think he might have the pace to get himself near the top 10. He should be able to overtake Harry Phillips, seeing as he got himself a lap in with those tyres. What tyres has he got on the car? It looks like he's got the dry tyres, you know. Yeah, he's got dries on. Okay. Who am I to argue with what Luke Whitehead does? At the moment, it looks a lot like that. If he can't get himself up inside the top 10, it's going to be a fantastic race for you Luke Whitehead fans out there, because he's going to be racing absolutely madly, I think. Like a man possessed. It's like he's fighting with a swarm of bees in there. Let's go on board. Definitely fighting with the car. It doesn't help that he's got that Mercedes just in front of him. I think it's Schneckenberger just ahead. That's a great analogy. Right, here we go then. On board with Luke Whitehead for a wet lap round Kota. I think the benchmark we've got at the moment with a genuine wet lap was Harry Phillips, but he has improved actually. We have got some improvements. Harry Phillips putting down a 2:12, so there you go. That's the current focus, 2:12.2. See, I think that's exactly the same time, is it not? 2:12, 2:35, and then Harry Phillips 2:12, 2:35. Nikita and Harry Phillips have done exactly the same time, so there you go. You know there's pace in the car at the moment. Next below him, Matthias Kuhn with a 2:12.267. So only a couple of hundredths can split these guys. Can we have an improvement? I think we can. Luke Whitehead's going to be the man to do it, I think. So let's see. Hope he feels better. Oh no. Okay. There you go. Luke's feeling unwell today, he said in Discord with us, but he's still able to laugh, so not that ill then. Okay, alrighty. Okay, that might explain the late start for the Ripper. We'll keep an eye on what he's doing at the moment. Nikita still in the lead. Bogoroditsky still in the lead there, with Harry Phillips following, Matthias Kuhn in third, Valentin Barrier, Statsenko fourth and fifth, Grantis Korekis and Tadeusz Dukvanenkus is in sixth and seventh, Tinker van der Velde and Andre Lee in eighth and ninth, 10th is Jamie Nuttall, the Tier 2 Season 11 champ. Luke Whitehead, also Season 11 champ. No, Season 10 champ, excuse me. Season 11 champ. It's Tinker van der Velde. Whereabouts is he? He's in 8th. Qualifying's over then. This is do or die for Luke Whitehead. What's his time? Can't quite see. Let's go scroll all the way down. Very un-Luke Whitehead-like. Whereabouts is he? We're going to see it as he comes across the line. Is it enough? It is! Luke Whitehead snatching it. Oh, like a baby in front of a bear. Luke Whitehead taking it at the flag. Statsenko's a 10th or so up here. He could improve. He goes second place. Not enough to take it from Luke Whitehead. Fantastic finish there. Harry Phillips is a 10th or so away on pace, so we might see an improvement from here. I just still can't believe that Luke Whitehead did that. Well done from Luke Whitehead. Statsenko's always called it a day. I thought he was still out. Nikita is actually still out too. So let's see what Nikita Bogoroditsky can do. Harry Phillips is still out there, but he's not improving. At the moment, they're actually all down on their previous time. But saying that, Luke Whitehead looked like he wasn't going to get as far up as he did, and he absolutely smashed the pace of everyone around him. So who knows at this point? Tadeusz Jekvinikas is in 9th place. He is up a couple of tenths as well, so we might see some changes from him. But I think this is very much where we're going to finish. I'm seeing a lot of red inside the top 10. No improvements apart from Tadas down there in P9. That's the only change that I think we'll see inside the top 10. But I'll stay with Nikita. He deserves that. He had the top spot for so long in this session. Luke Whitehead snatching it from him. Mikhail Stetsenko then taking the silver medal away from this man, who is in 4th place at the moment. So come down to the line. Leon Byrne manages to get up there. Shadi in 2nd place. There's a shout for the crowd. Harry Phillips is still about to come across the line. We've got changes all around here, but I think that's all that they've done. Tadas Chupaninkas, is he going to improve? I don't think he can, and that is the session. Luke Whitehead, Jardier in 2nd, Leon Byrne in 3rd. Complete change of the top 5 inside the final couple of minutes, really. Fantastic from Luke Whitehead. Where did that come from? Jardier and Leon Byrne also smashing in that time there. So the lead time is 2:11.5. Jardier was 2:11.792. Leon Byrne was just inside the 12s. And then we're 12 all the way down, really, until P7. Fantastic qualifying sesh from the boys in Tier 1. Sudafed and meth do wonders for a cold. You're quite right. Not sure he's on Sudafed and meth. Probably just meth. Barrier pushed from top 5 to 10th at the end there. You're quite right, actually. Valentin Barrier all the way down in 10th place. Well, let's go through the grid then to see what is what. We're going to start on, there you go, there's your answer, how the track's going to line up. Fast track, 21 degrees, track temps 27 degrees. It looks like we're all clear. I've got no idea why it rained through that session, but there you go. Let's see how these boys stack up then. Luke Whitehead and Jardier will be on the top spot in P1 and 2. Second row of the grid then will be Leon Byrne and Tadas Jekvinikas. Third row will be Nikita Bogorovsky. He'll be joined by Grantis Karakas. Fourth row then will be Mikhail Statsenko and Harry Phillips. Fifth row will be Matthias Kuhn and Valentin Barrier. Moving down then to the 6th row is Jura Petchenko and Abeladze. 7th row, Ayrton Manisha and Tinka van der Velde, current and reigning champion. 8th row, further back, is Aidan Walsingham and Matthias Latho. And then 9th row will be Mats Linn-Andersson and Krzysztof Makowski. 10th row, Andre Lee, Anton Tarasov. 11th row will be Filip Salski and Matteo Naldi. And we've got 12th row will be Cody Sherritt and Samir Foch. Let's see if we can get close up on these boys that we're not getting at the moment. I don't think we can. There we go, that's better. Okay, so where were we? 13th row, Jamie Nuttall and Mattia De Campo. Luke Southall will be on the 14th row with Julian Naumann. And then the 15th row will be Arthur Patet and Vanko Dimitrov. 16th row will be Remy Papin and Angel Instroza. Where are we now? Damir Bonsfils and Vladislav Kolosov are going to be 34th and 33rd. George Boothby, look how he's fallen down. Definitely one of the major casualties of that session. He'll be with Jordan Watson. Lucas Sickenberger and Jonas Fawkes will be just behind them in 37th and 38th. And then finally, Andrew McWilliam is going to be brought up with Alejandro Perez, Leonard McAvin and Gert Fischer at the back in the Pulse SimSport BMW. So there we go. I wouldn't advise that. You can also avoid a hangover just continuing to drink. Right, okay. Well, thanks for that. Lovely health news. Luke Whitehead currently sitting pretty there in the top row, top spot, with Jardier just behind. So who have we got to watch out for this session then? I think it will be very, very hard for someone like Grantis Karakas to continue his march up and get some good points this afternoon. But we'll see. We'll see what happened. George Boothby was, second place last race, and he's right down in the 30s. So I think Boothby's going to have to call it a day. Statsenko, 7th place. He's going to be with Grantis Karakas making moves, so we'll have to see what those guys do in 6th and 7th. Matthias Kuhn, Tinka van der Velde were 5th and 6th. Whereabouts are they starting? So Tinka van der Velde down in 14th place. Matthias Kuhn, whereabouts are we? In 9th place. Well, it's going to be a little bit of a crazy race out there. I'm not too sure who's going to take the checkered flag in the top spot, but hey, we'll give it a go. Let's see what happened with my little poll, eh? Let's see. We'll end the poll here, and I'll go through some of the stats. So I said, who's going to win today? Put that to you guys at the very beginning. Looks like Luke Whitehead got a majority of the votes, 41% of the votes. He's currently taking the top spot, as I can see it there. Boothby with 29% of the votes. Wow, how wrong were you guys? He's right down at the bottom. I can't even see him in the picture. And Grantis Caracas in third place there, with 19% of the votes, and then Tinker van der Velde at the back of all of your guys' thoughts there with 9% of the votes. 31 of you voted who's going to win, and a majority of you said Luke Whitehead. 41% majority. He takes Parliament today. Luke Whitehead is looking like the man to beat this afternoon, and we didn't think that. Only did one qualifying. It was very Vettel-like. He managed to claim the top spot. Whacked out Boulevard. If everyone ahead crashes, Boothby can still win. Well, yeah, I guess. Well, if everyone catches fire, then technically the likes of Gert Fischer could win. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. Tinker van der Velde. Current reigning champion. Season 11 champ. In 14th place. Let's just double check whereabouts we were with Boothby so we remember. 35th Boothby. Right back there in 35th place. And he's on the 16th, 17th row of the grid. Wow. Okay. He's going to have some moves to it. But the problem is he's got fast drivers around him. He's got Vladislav Kolosov in 33rd, Instroza in 31st, Remy Papin in 32nd. He's going to have a real tough time making it up through that. We'll keep an eye on him, I think. It'll be very interesting to see what George Boothby can do. I think he's going to have to go for an absolutely crazy Boothby-style attack through the field with a somewhat wild pit strategy, but if anyone can do it, George Boothby can. We'll keep an eye on when he pulls the trigger. I'm sure it'll be very, very early. Yeah, I mean, Boothby's got it all to play with. Unfortunately, he's got it all to play for. But, you know, you don't try, you don't succeed sometimes. I do love, is that Jordan Watson? No, it's not. Someone's out of place. Maybe it's Bondsville's. No, it's not. Is it Kolosov? It is Kolosov. Kolosov's paint scheme is absolutely fantastic this afternoon. Armamentero Project racing team by the looks of things there. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that. Let's see if we can get a close-up of that car. And get inside the car. That's about as close as you can get. But I want to see what it looks like from the outside. Can we get any closer? I don't think we can. All the cameras are too far. There we go. Lovely pink and gold number from Vladislav Kolosov. Well, we're about to go green this afternoon. Luke Whitehead and Jardier are going to go toe-to-toe. Leon Burnt in third place. Probably the highest we've ever seen Leon Burnt up here. We have to see how the start of the race goes for him. I'm not too sure where the green line is. It's very, very close, I think. Either that or it's right at the very end. Not too sure. So I think we should start on board with Leon Burnt. See how he can do at the start of here. Nikita in 5th place, Tadas in 4th. They all do huckle up together. Leon Burnt, I think, is probably a good place to start. We're about to go green then for the second race of Season 12. Luke Whitehead in pole position for a second time. Jardier in 2nd place. Leon Burnt in 3rd. I'm not too sure where the start is. It's going to go green very, very shortly. Or is it at the end? Who knows? I think it must be at the very, very end. The timing screen there, just above all of the placement boards up there, I think is the green line. And as we cross over, everyone's going to get the green light. Fantastic control from all of these drivers. They've gone green. They've gone green. I'm going to go helicam for the start here, but I think we're going to have some crazy action going into turn 1. Doesn't look like we've got anything yet. There is touches. There's going to be more in the background, I think. Is there any action going on further back? I'm sure there will be, but it looks like everyone got through okay. Luke Whitehead still leading. Jardier ahead. Luke Whitehead's gone. Someone has gone at the very beginning. Where is he? Oh, we got a disconnect from Luke Whitehead, I think. That is absolutely disastrous. I don't think I can see him. We might have a complete disconnect from Luke Whitehead. Either that or we've got server problems. Not too sure what's going on. But I think that is Luke Whitehead disappearing into Narnia. He didn't pass go. He didn't collect his $200. And I think Luke Whitehead is the first casualty. We call that the sim racing mechanical. I think Luke Whitehead suffered that mechanical. And who would have thought it? We've got Jardier leading a Tier 1 race here in AOR. He's got... Oh no, we've got drive-thrus coming from everywhere. I'm really not sure what's going on with this session. I mean, we'll continue as we normally do. There's never normally restarts here in AOR, so I'm not too sure what's going on there with all of those drive-thrus. They do have live stewarding. We've got a restart. Wow, I am surprised. Wow, well that is the first time in 8 seasons I've ever seen a restart in AOR. And I think Luke Whitehead can get back, but he'll be starting from the pit lane. Share it with a disqualification. They have a DSQ, they're stuck in the pit. We'll double check on Sherritt. We've got Aidan Walsingham also in the pit. Lost for words, I think, is here we go. Oh dear. Well, there we go. Too many DSQs, I'm sure it was. Completely bugged, yeah. Well, chat, all I can do is apologise. We've got 3 minutes of digesting there. Time enough for a reload. I think so. I think, he's not here though, and that's what worries me. We'll keep eyes peeled for Luke Whitehead. I'm going to check the Discord, see if we can get some news on what just happened there, because that is pretty, yeah, that's pretty unheard of. Elevator music for a bit here, guys, while I just investigate what happened there. Well, there we go. No word just yet. A lot of people got crashes, I think. A lot of people have been moved around on track. See, I'm sure people can get some words to Luke Whitehead to tell him to come back. I've got no clue what's going on, guys. Well, new update recently? I mean, well, Jardier currently is your leader. I'm not sure how long it will stay like that. We've got a minute and some change to go. No sign. We do have a sign. I can see him. I can't physically see him, though, which is worrying. There he is. He's P36. I don't see how this is fair. There you go. To be honest, I think, in my opinion, this is a write-off from the get-go. I don't think a result can be fair from this. How can someone qualify in P1 after a fantastic qualifying session and then have to deal with 36th? I don't really get that, but hey-ho. I'm not too sure what the admins can really do about it. Apart from repopulate the grid themselves, and I'm not sure how easy that would be in the back office of AOR. And also, DDoS apparently, I'm not sure that is, my friend. That looked like, well, it could have been, I don't know. Mass disconnection, the server was registering a lot of people as disqualified and DQ'd, no idea. Maybe netcode. Yeah, possibly, guys, possibly. 40 seconds to go before we go again. Server issues, I think. Right, you've got to remember that this is the first time we've run this track in this capacity. So it's the first time we've had a full grid on Kota. You've got to understand that the guys are trying everything they can to get this race on for everyone. And I know it's affecting everyone in different ways. Obviously, big news there. Luke Whitehead is back in 36th place. George Boothby joining him in 40th position. Everyone's mixed up, and I'm not too sure how they're gonna deal with this. No clue. But the only thing I can think of is they go green and they let the clock run out. But hey-ho. I'll just double check what's going on in the back area and see if we can get any news. Looks like we've had another restart there, guys. I've got no words. All I can think of is they're trying their best. Let's see if I can get some more word from what's going on. So join us. Do bear with us, guys. Do bear with us. I'm going to go quiet a second while I can just investigate what's going on so I can give you guys the up-to-date news. Well, I come back with no news apart from many memes from the chat. Chief of those is Aidan Walshingham with the "It's Fine" meme. Many fires, restart with entry list as the answer. In case you didn't get it somewhere else, I'm sure Aidan Walshingham is going to try and post that for everyone. So there we go. I don't know how we can go live at this state, to be honest. There will be a time that we will go, nope, no further. But we'll see when that time is. Well, chat, I'm sorry. At this point in the day, I can only ask you, what is your favourite dessert? I'm going to go for a tiramisu. It's lovely. Creamy. Hint of alcohol, so it's just a little bit naughty. I want your feedback. Just cake. That's all we're going for, is just cake. No co-host, blame him. I think everyone in the chat needs to blame Jamie. Mr. Ellis. He's to blame. That's all I can say. He's DDoSing us. Cream and chocolate. Cheesecake. Cake and cheese. Okay. I love tiramisu, but I also love trifle. I've got some good recommendations here. Selma. And Louise? Louise will be jealous with that. Bailey's cookie and cream milkshake. Okay, we're taking that as a dessert, are we? 45 seconds, guys. I'm not too sure what we're going to be doing. I drank my Jaffa cakes and an ice cream. That was healthy? Question mark. No, it's not. Not at all. No recommendations for me to drink your Jaffa cakes. Still no word, unfortunately, from the guys. But I'm sure they're doing everything they can to get this race up and going. 24 seconds to investigate before we do another mandatory 3. I mean, everyone in the entry list is still here, as far as I can see. See if we've got anyone who isn't. Instroza is showing as out for me. See if I can get some news on where he is. Is he here? He is here. Jordan Watson is still here. Good. Okay. Andre Lee is showing out, but he's still there. It sounds like we're off and going. But Jadier is stopped. Now we're going again. Okay. Right. Well, I think this is the new running order, but I'm not too sure how we could run like this. But hey-ho. Matthias Kuhn. Luke Whitehead. He's still here. Leonard McAvin. I don't know who we're missing out of that, but it looks like we do have a spare grid slot. An espresso with a shot of Sambuca. It's a Bonocchiato. Okay. It's a full grid. It is. It is a full grid. It is indeed. Right. Well, we're off and running. I don't know how this is going to end, guys. Let's just see. I don't think we're DDoS. I think it was something completely and entirely different. Thank you there, guys, for all of your dessert recommendations. They were quite boring. Not going to lie. I think the blended Jaffa cakes is probably the best on that list. I doubt that was DDoS. No, I don't think it was. I think that was just general fuckiness. of ACC. Oh dear. Never mind. Excuse me language. Right. Don't think we've got anything else going on inside the Discord, so I think we're just going to have to go live with whatever happens. We've got Harry Phillips drifting. I mean, yes. This is AOR Tier 1, I promise. And then that has happened. Okay. Right. We do have some chaos in the background there. There is a bit of chaos going on. Harry Phillips has taken his Japanese heritage to heart and is drifting down the back straight between turn 11 and 12. You can't par there, even the kids are crying. I know, apologies. Apologies. It's bedtime, but apparently not for him. Even the kids are crying. I'm sorry. Right, I don't know what's going on with this race, guys. I have no clue. I don't know where we are with it, statistically, or what, but we have people drifting everywhere. I don't know. And it's the first time there is silence from this cockpit. I just don't know. Okay, well there we go. Server will be restarted with positions recovered from queue results. ETA less than 10 minutes. Well, seeing as we've got a 10-minute break, guys, what I'm going to do, I'm going to pop some music on, the horrible music, and I'll just give you the chaos that ensues without the tones of myself. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will get racing. It'll be within 10 minutes. come back to that in the chat. The platypus is the only world's venomous mammal. Well, that's a fact I didn't know. But there you go. It's a fact that I feel that we all needed today. Okay, I have got the word that we will be going live very shortly, and we will get disconnected, and that will be the tell once we will be able to continue. So I respect everyone's patience, and apologies, but we will be we'll be going again at some point this afternoon. Let's turn that music down for everyone involved. I want to know where this snail platypus talk came from. As George Boothby tests the barrier safely. Architectus says it's because of the balloons, isn't it? Possibly. Very much a possibility. Even in real life, things get strange. Remember kangaroos, everyone. There you go. The platypus, one of two mammals that can make its own custard. Right. Apparently kangaroos can't fart. We had to fill whilst watching ice skating. To be honest, I gave up. I gave up the filling and carried on with my day. They also pee in their arms to cool themselves. Well, there you go. That's some interesting marsupial talk. We will be coming back to this race, guys, I promise. At the moment, we are mowing the lawn with McCoven. As these boys get some unorthodox practice in round Kota, the server is going to be repopulated, and we will be going live with the qualifying results giving us our grid. So we will have the start that we all deserved. Luke Whitehead leading them away, Jardier just behind, and I think it's Leon Byrne in third place. So that will be coming within the next 5 minutes, I promise. Can they at least burp? We're learning life-changing facts today. I think we are. Facts that we all needed. As Leon Burnt and McCoy George Boothby have a slight coming together at the end of end of the straight before turn 12. We had a little bit of damage, but all is well. There's McCoven making his feelings known. Is Boothby still out there? He is, apparently. Unbreakable car of George Boothby. And he's disappeared. Right, I think that's probably the call of everyone disappearing. Sorry guys. We're back to black. We'll restart the server and we'll continue in 2 minutes. Right, it looks like we are back. This session will probably get forwarded. The restart, exactly. This will get forwarded over, and we'll have a race very shortly, probably in the next 5 minutes or so. It is raining again because this is the session previous. This is free practice. It will continue to the race, so don't worry. We shouldn't have a qualifying session. Architeuth is coming in with some more facts there that the whelk has the longest PP to body length ratio of any animal. Well, there you go. I think we have everyone in the session. We definitely have everyone in the correct order. Which is good. Luke Whitehead, Jardier, Leon Byrne, the top three that we're all looking forward to. Architeuth is coming in with more facts. Coincidentally, my PP is the same length as a whelk. Well, there you go. Even more information that no one needed, but we all wanted. Right, Luke Whitehead and Jardier are going to be on the front row, followed by Leon Byrne and Tadas Jivanikas on the second. Nikita Bogroditsky and Grantis Karakis on the third, Mikhail Stetsenko on the fourth. Fifth row will be Matthias Kuhn, Valentin Barrier. Sixth row will be Jura Petchenko and Abaladze. Then we've got Ayrton Manisha and Tinka van der Velde on the seventh row of the grid. Aidan Walsingham, Matthias Latho, they'll be joining us on the eighth row. Ninth row will be Mats Lynn Anderson and Christoph Mikowski. I will show you them so you can see them. Apologies. 10th row will be Andre Lee and Anton Tarasov. Then going back to the 11th row, it'll be Filip Salski and Matteo Naldi. 12th row will be Cody Sherritt and Samir Foch. 13th row is Jamie Nuttall and Mattia De Campo. 14th row will be Luke Southall and Julian Naumann. 15th row is Arta Patat and Vanko Dimitrov. 16th row is Remy Patton and Angel Inostroza. 17th is Damir Bonsfils and Vladislav Kolosov. 18th, 17th, 18th, 19th, who knows? 18th is George Boothby and Jordan Watson. 19th is Lucas Schickenberger and Jonas Fawkes. And then the 20th row, Andrew McWilliam, Alejandro Perez. Joining him further down is Leonard McAvin and Gert Fischer. It looks like we did have a dropout, I think, but I hope not. But we have, I think I went through all of them there. Gert Fischer at the end. I seem to be remembering Gert Fischer was one further behind, but who knows? We have what looks like a full grid here. No one has fallen foul to the instance that we saw earlier. BFR Hunter 97, what a time to join. We should have been half an hour into this race, but unfortunately we had to restart. So I can only say if the same instance happen another time, I'm pretty sure there won't be another restart. But hey-ho, let's give it a go. I'd just like to reiterate, it's the first time we have run Kota on ACC. So yeah, I mean, as you can see it flashing there on Luke Whitehead's heads-up display, Ripperoonie. We will go racing in a minute's time. Who do you guys want to win? I did run this poll earlier on, but I think we should run it again. We've got a larger audience now. Let's do another poll. Apologies for the cries of my son in the background. He's also rather annoyed that the server was off to a late start, so I can only apologise. But yes, we're about to go racing. These guys are shown the somewhat preliminary green light as Luke Whitehead pulls away somewhat sluggishly. We've actually got rain now, and we didn't have rain earlier, so I think that has been slightly overlooked by the admins, but I mean it gives us a little bit more of a spicy start to this race. Let's see if these boys manage to account for that. Yeah, we have all got wet tyres on, I think, throughout the grid, so we have to keep an eye on whether they all manage to recognise that there is the wet stuff down on the black stuff. I hope for Walsingham top 10 finish. You never know. You never know. Arcatusis wants the audience to be the winners. At the moment, we are. We are the biggest winners out there. We get 2 starts to round 2. Chat saying that Lynn Anderson has found his way into the pits. Let's have a look. He has. Mats is going to be starting from the very back row of the back rooms. It looks like he didn't get his setup sorted out before we went live, so he'll be starting from the pit. Mikowski, it says he's out, but he's not. He's definitely there. Jardier community team in P17. And the biggest casualty that we saw of qualifying, which seems like a year ago, was George Boothby down in P34. I'm sure he doesn't mind about the restart. He will be starting all the way back down there. Second place last week. He's going to have to do some real fighting to get his way up the grid. We've still got a long way to go before we go green. Luke Whitehead's going to be taking the lead with Jardier just behind. Leon Burnt in third. Tadas and Nikita behind them. Grantis Karakis and Matthias Kuhn and Mikhail Stiksenko. Harry Phillips and Valentin Barrier rounding out top 10. It's going to be a battle, I think. Grantis Karakis is going to be right up behind. Statsenko is going to be fighting up there too. I think the only question marks are Leon Burnt, Jardier in second, and Tadas Jovanekis. I'm not too sure what the pace is going to be when the lights go green for him, but Nikita is going to be one to watch. It's going to be hard for Luke not to win this race, I think, to be honest, given his position and given the buffer that he's got in second and third. Not to talk bad of Jardier. I know he can do it on any given day, but I'm not sure today will be that day. But we'll see. We'll see. I mean, he has won in Tier 1 once before. So let's see what he can do. Leon Burnt, though, ran Welton Esports. This will be the highest qualifying position for him ever. Tadas Jukvanicus in P4 just behind in that Porsche. What can he do this afternoon? Nikita Bogorodutsky in 5th place with Grantis Karakis just behind. It's going to be tough for everyone involved, I think. Let's see what they can get up to. Harry Phillips, look. First to put on the wet tyre this afternoon in qualifying. I wonder what he can do to this pack. Position is king in the wet, you're right. We shall see. There's still pace there, and it's not wet forever. It's going to be getting less wet in 30 minutes. So you never know. We could have a drier track towards the end of this race. Right, take 3 then. Luke Whitehead's going to lead them away. Thank goodness he's still with us. Jardier just behind. Let's see if we can actually get some racing this afternoon as they're about to go green. They have gone green. We'll jump on board with Tadas as he follows them all down to turn 1. Luke Whitehead and Jardier go toe-to-toe through turn 1. No contact, I don't think. Leon Burnt solidifying his position there. The Veloce driver, Grantis Karakis there. Where is Nikita gone in all of that? I'm not sure Nikita is with us. I can't quite see him. No clue where he is, but he's definitely not there on track. As you see, Luke Whitehead taking the lead. And Leon Burnt coming under pressure there from Tadas already. Tadas trying to make his moves round. And you've got Grantis Karakis trying to get past him in the Veloce car. He looks like he's got a good run on the inside. He's going to take that position. We'll go on board with Tadas. If you look to the left of your screen, you might see a very keen Grantis Karakis going up the inside in turn 11. And I think he's done that. He's going to be really, really at pressure. There's Nikita in P6. We found him. He didn't fall down. He is still there. And there's people going toe-to-toe with Tadas down the back straight. think that's Nikita. It is. He's got the drive, and there goes Statsenko, the 144, absolutely sending it up the inside into 12. He's going to run round the outside. I think Nikita's going to hold on to that position. The 317 putting it on the rails, and Tadas wants to get past. He's not going to get it, losing 2 positions there in the space of really just 2 corners, even though it is the biggest straight that we've seen for a long time. He does take the place back though from Nikita, gets all out of sorts out of turn 14. Good stuff there from Tadas, getting some positions back after a disaster of a start. Luke Whitehead leads them away then, guys, still in the top spot. Jardier holding on, surprisingly. Leon Burnt in 3rd place, and Grantis Caracas still in the picture, just a little further down. Let's check out what's going on a little bit further, as we've got chaos ensuing here, and this is Abeladze, Barrier and Petrochenko up ahead. Barrier getting out of shape at the end there. Turn 18, claiming Barrier's position, as I think he's lost that to Mateus Leitho, who are on board at the moment. Team Full Motorsport in full effect. You can see Valentin Barrier with the Brabham Esport team on the outside, on the right. Oh, it closes down into turn 1 very, very scarily. I think Leitho might even lose that position moving forward, and he does. There goes Valentin Barrier up the inside. Tinker van der Velde takes a very good approach to that, managed to get himself up and past Leitho too, and he loses 2 positions in a very short space of time, and he's under pressure from Anton Tarasov as well. Lee under pressure as well from Sherritt back there. Let's maybe jump on board with Cody Sherritt. You can see him try and get past Alexandra Lee for P15. There's battles throughout the grid, guys. I don't want to miss anything up at the top end, but we've got a very spicy grid all the way through. Some grip issues on that hairpin, 100%. It's damp out there, and you can see losing it very, very closely on turn 10. Cody Sherritt gets a position. Very nice. Lee down 1 then, 16th place for him, to see if he can hold on to any kind of pace this afternoon. Right, let's go. Nikita Potrodowski, where's he? He's P10. So he did have some problems, because he was P6 last time I looked, so not too sure what happened with Nikita then, but he was battling way up with Tadas, I'm pretty sure, and Statsenko. So there's another casualty that unfortunately we didn't see. Without the help of Jay this afternoon, I don't really have eyes everywhere, so you just have to bear with me, guys. We did actually finally get off to a good start, which is fantastic. Let's see what's happening with the top boys. Luke Whitehead leads them away then. Jardier in 2nd place, holding on still. Still within a second. I'm sure his whole community is behind him for this one. You never know. We might have a Czech winner this afternoon. Again, Leon Burnt is falling back from that pack. Grantis Caracas has got himself in a great position. Obviously, we saw Tadas Jivadenkas getting taken by Mikhail Statsenko and also Nikita, but then took that position back. So that might have been when Nikita dropped back earlier on. But there we go. All those black cars like a funeral procession. Yeah, I know. I mean, tell your favourite driver, please, please, please load the correct paint, because otherwise you guys can't see. Yeah, I think so. I think so, Simeon. It looks like both cars pulling away nicely there. This is a good little battle that I want to see how it plays out. Statsenko and Caracas in P4. This is the battle to stay with the top pack. The Veloce guys have got to stick together. They're currently leading the championship team-wise, I would have thought. But it must be. Luke Whitehead got 1st place. I think Statsenko came 4th. So currently the leading team. I'm surprised actually how well Jardier's done in staying with Luke Whitehead. Obviously I know we've got a somewhat wounded Luke this afternoon. He's carrying some man flu. Tinker van der Velde putting pressure on Nikita as well. Might be carrying a slight bit of damage. So maybe we should drop back to P12 to see. Oh goodness. Got a very racy couple of cars here. That's Leitho making a move on Tinker van der Velde up the inside of 11 and absolutely pounding it away. That Audi's got some legs. Tinker van der Velde didn't get a very good drive off the curb, and he's left wishing for more. Oh my goodness, there's Tarasov up the inside of him, outside of him. I mean, almost loses that position, but held on to it like an eager beaver that he is. The meth is helping. I'm not sure it is at this stage. It's helping Jardio, definitely. Definitely not helping Luke. Look at the pile of cars behind. Who's the beneficiary of all of those cars? It's Krzysztof Makowski, Matteo Naldi and Jamie Nuttall all going absolutely nuts. Let's go on board with these guys to see what it's like going too wide through 17 and 18, and you can see exactly that. Not fun. Not fun indeed. That's Naumann just ahead. De Campo, I don't know whereabouts he is. They're all over the place in the standings there. That's Naldi on the outside of Nuttall here, and he's trying to get up to the back of Makowski. I think he's claimed that position quite nicely there. Jamie Nuttall showing you why he's the Tier 2 champ. Claiming 2 scalps. Nicely done from the Nutman. He's got to press on to get onto the back of Makowski now. With a roaring Naumann just behind him. There's so many cars all touching, rubbing. Jamie Nuttall pushing someone wide there. I think that was Naumann going toe-to-toe, and it was. They're trading paint. This is going to be hard coming through turns 4, 5 and 6. It tells you how good that Audi is. Very, very competitive in these conditions by the looks of things. We saw that with Matthias up towards, Mats in P12 earlier on. Oh, I think that might have been Nikita. Not too sure. I don't know who that was. I just saw a flash of turquoise. And I know obviously Nikita's car is somewhat turquoise now. There we go. Where is Nikita? It says he's P11, so it can't be him. I mean, it might have been him. Who's he around? He's definitely not around the cars that they say. So that could have been Nikita. It was. Bogoroditsky right down now in P24th. And a shame. Never mind. Suffering, it seems, in that Honda. Oh, he was doing so well. Qualified so well as well. Right, talking of qualifying, let's see how he's getting on. Oh, no. Okay, well, I can confirm first casualty of this session is George Boothby. Nothing from him. Lucas Scheckenberger has also thrown in the towel. Mats Anderson, who started from the pit lane, is in this race. Just to show, Dimitrov and Walsingham have pitted, so has Manisha. So we do have some alternate strategies going on this afternoon. I mean, there's chaos in the mid-sector with everyone all over each other. Let's just double check what's going on towards the top then. They're still together. They're separated by a little bit more time though this time. 7 tenths. It was 4 last time we checked a couple of laps ago. So Luke Whitehead slowly easing out. It looks like Jardier is letting off the pressure slightly. We've got 10 more minutes of rain, and then we could have some dry running. Lucas Scheckenberger, yes. Scheckenberger? I don't know. Go on. School me on how we say his name, because I don't know. Boothby maybe popped it in the gravel. Yeah, I don't think so too. The strategy to call it early is definitely not the one. Ooh, that is Leon Byrne and Statsenko going toe to toe. Looks like Statsenko saw the danger around him and decided to pull it behind. Grantis Karakis still in 5th place, and he's probably looking quite happy about what's going on in front here. Let's jump on board with Mikhail Statsenko as we see some not so defensive driving then from Leon Byrne. Some very cautious driving as he puts the pressure on, and Statsenko's going to drive round him as well in turn 13. Well, there you go, Statsenko up into 3rd place. That's exactly what he wanted. Now Karakis has got to get some urgency on him to get past Leon Byrne. I thought that would probably be the case. It's a hard place for Leon to stay inside that top 5, considering, I mean, he's got the qualities, he's got the experience, but I'm not sure he's got the raw pace this afternoon. You never know. When it dries out, he might come alive a little bit more. I'm not too sure about the wet running pace of that Honda, but he's doing well, holding those guys back, but he has fallen back a position. He's got Grantis Karakis now behind him to try and get past, or hold off, sorry. Grantis obviously going to try and get past him. Veloce then on the march and looking to get past Statsenko. moving past Leon Burnt for third place. Bronze position then for Mikhail Tsetsenko, who's got a foot on the podium this afternoon, but it's not there. I have noticed though, in the very top of your screen, Jardier has closed the gap on Luke Whitehead, so Whitehead maybe had a little whoopsie somewhere. The Czech flyer holding on to Luke Whitehead. I mean, don't want to, you know, tempt fate, but you never know. Jardier could have an absolute blast here this afternoon. Who knows? We could see some chaos today from the young Czech driver. Who knows? I'm not going to call it yet. I don't want to curse him, but he's doing well. He's holding on. Let's just hope that he holds on for as long as possible. Grantis Caracas then. This is the fight that we want to watch. Let's go on board. Nevicus, I can never say his name. Tadas Jukminicus is just behind and hunting. So we might see some more moves from him later on. Harry Phillips having a good race. P8 for him. Abalabsi in 9. Barrier in 10. Tinker van der Velde, current champion, in P11. Not having a good afternoon. So it's Porsche, Honda, 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 Porsche, Porsche, Ferrari, Honda, 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 Ferrari, Honda, Audi, Honda, Honda, Ferrari, Ferrari, Audi, Honda, BMW. Is it me, or is Leon Burnt getting closer to Statsenko? Could see some changes. You never know. Looks like 4 cars of pit. Exactly, they have. We'll go through some of those pits later. When will be the time to call the pit this afternoon? No, we've got another at least guaranteed 10 minutes of rain. It says within 30 we will have, we'll have no rain. So we'll keep an eye on what's going on with that. But there's no wind at all. So we'll see how long it takes for the rain to run away. The gap has closed again between Jardier and Luke Whitehead. It's still close, but not as close as you want it. Looks like Jardier's calling the tyre. Is the Aston the new Bentley? I mean, it could be. It's not favoured this season. Definitely not. I think it's the only one we've got in the whole field is Naldi at the moment. I mean, the bot chops and changes, the car preference chops and changes. Porsche and Ferrari always seem to be up there, but yeah, Bentley fallen by the wayside at the moment. Not slow, just not as consistent as the other guys at the moment by the looks of things. Jardier's having a coughing fit. I know both of these boys are both unwell, so it is like the fight of influenza between both of these guys at the moment. I know both Luke Whitehead and Jardier are suffering with illness. So it's really the worst time for Jardier to be chasing a lead here against the panel beater himself. Statsenko, Leon Burnt, Grantis Caracas still separated by the same gap as we saw before. Don't think there's much going on down the grid. Cody Sherritt's getting quite close to Matea. Let's just have a little look what's going on there. Matthias Leo is losing that position to Cody Sherritt and then pulling it back again. The number 27 so fast in these conditions. Still got 10 minutes of rain. Who knows at this stage, Midi Simeon? Who knows? Cody Sherritt fighting for position here, though. Don't think we'll see any changes for now. Let's just top up to the top group again, because we've got Tadas looking like he wants to make some move on Caracas. I think that Porsche is slowly starting to struggle in these conditions. I'm sure they're probably praying for the conditions to sort themselves out, because they look like they're both being poached. Jardier losing some time out there to Luke Whitehead. That lap was 3/10 last time, it's now 9. So that gap slowly starting to eke out. 4/10 is the gap to Juknavicius and Grantis Caracas. Anything can happen though, normally does, with AOR. Right, let's see if we've got any more pitters further down I don't think we have jumped on board with Jamie Nuttall as he tries to go side to side with Naumann. Looks like these guys have been racing for a long time, to be honest. And it looks like he's just about got past. He's got Luke Southall for company, though. That's going to be a tight old fight through turns 3, 4, 5 and 6. Staying with him, though. Let's see if we can find out what's going on with those pitters. Any more news from the back? This battle's going on throughout the grid, though. It's fantastic. So it looks like 38 down to 42 have called the pit, but I think it's still the same as what we saw earlier, Dimitrov being the first of those pitters. But I think that's obviously because of mechanicals or issues that they've suffered. McCovin losing that position then to Fulks. Angel and Stroza just behind. John Watson following. I think that's Matsson and Anderson just behind him. He's done very well actually to get up with these guys. He's pretty much the last of the back runners coming through there. It's good stuff from him to get back into the running there. Right, Luke Whitehead still leading. Jadier following still. Leon Berndt getting close to Mikhail Statsenko. So Statsenko got past, but never really jumped on it by the looks of things. Shoe stuck to the throttle caused him to overshoot. Okay. I'm sure there's plenty of things going on with those boys at the moment. I just don't want to get into it. Probably involves a lot of Strepsils, paracetamol, and Vicks Vapor Rub. It's the season for flus, coughs and colds, so I'm not surprised that some of these guys are suffering. My kind of party. Crack out the Vapor Rub and Simeon's all in. He knows it's going to be a good time when you crack out the Vicks. No movement from these boys just yet. Anton Tarasov getting very close there. Cody Sherritt dancing together by the looks of things. Oh, and there is contact. And Salsky had to make avoiding action there. He's come off worse. Looks like Southall and Naumann managed to get through. So who was the big issue there? Cody Sherritt fell down there. I think that was the big casualty out of that. So coming through, so Southall, Salsky, Nardi, they're all okay. And yeah, Naumann, Tarasov managed to get through okay there. So probably got a penalty coming Tarasov's way. A little one, I'm sure. But he'll probably get a little slap on the wrist at some point this afternoon. Never mind. Methanol and ethanol in equal measure. Okay, why not? Luke Whitehead still in the lead. Jadier second place, holding on. Statsenko, then Leon Berndt, and Grantis Karakas. Tadas just behind him. Harry Phillips. Now, we say this name a lot. Having an absolutely fantastic race today. First jump on the wet tyre in qualifying earlier on, seems like a year ago. Thinking on his feet today, young Harry Phillips. Last time we mentioned him this far up, I think it might have Indianapolis last season. Had a fantastic race. He was in a Porsche, of course. Went backwards, unfortunately, but still had a very good race. Finished maybe round about the top 10, but I think he's got the chance here to do well. If he gets his pit strategy, he can close that gap to Tadas. If he gets the pit right, if they call it at the right time. Still says 10 minutes worth of rain out there, guys, but you never know. Nuttall got nailed. Well, lovely bit of alliteration. Don't know where he is now, though. It must have been the crash that we saw earlier on. Maybe have a look down on my list where he is, the Nutman. Has he called it a day? No, he hasn't. P31. The Visceral Man, unfortunately, having issues this afternoon. Followed by Remy Papin, and he's chasing McCovin. Matslin Anderson's got himself up into 29th. That's obviously got past McCovin, and then obviously Nuttall having the problem. Matslin Anderson on a charge. Good stuff from him. He's got a little bit of work to do. What's that little band of brothers we can see just up ahead? See if I can see what's going on with those guys. Is it these? I think it is. Yes, it is. Right, we found them. Andrew McWilliam chasing the back of Nikita. Nikita causing absolute chaos today. Never mind. He was up inside the top 10 earlier on, and now he's causing problems outside the top 20. Andy McWilliam needs to get past to continue this this season. Gert Fisher just behind him. Not been Gert or Samir Fosh's season so far. 22nd and 23rd for them at the moment. Normally see them a little bit higher up for Samir, definitely. Matthias Kuhn started far up today, and he's had an absolute disaster of a race, down in 24th. Nikita obviously joining him in the disaster scale. He's down in 20th, sorry. He's probably going to lose that quite soon. Right, talking of disasters, Tinker van der Velde, where's he now? He's in P11. Valentin Barrier with the brilliant paint scheme just ahead. Big gap between those two, though. Oh, Mikowski and Naldi going toe-to-toe. Mikowski managing then to dispatch Nikita earlier on, and now he's under pressure from the only Aston on the grid. Matteo, though, is doing a good job. There's that little pack that we were watching that's getting held up by Nikita in P20. Christoph Mikowski and then P18, Matteo Naldi in P19. It's a good little race going on between these two. I think the closest race that we can see at the moment. No one pulling the trigger on the pit. Obviously paying attention to what's going on just up in the top right. Still rain for the next 10. Share it just with a questionable rejoin. I do like questionable rejoins. We have seen some fantastic questionable rejoins. Just thinking of some. What have we got? The questionable rejoin we had last season. I can't remember who it was involving actually. It was at Suzuka. Final corner, questionable rejoin. I think he went on the inside and then just came straight on from the pit road, pretty much, entry. And then decided I'm not going to pit, and then joined back onto the track. That was interesting. We had a funny feeling it might have been Jura Petrochenko with the most interesting rejoin in France. Good 3 seasons ago. I think he, yeah, I think, you know, when you're going down the start-finish straight and there's quite a lot of runoff on the left-hand side before the line. Yeah, he just jumped straight back onto the track off that runoff, and it caused chaos in the middle of the Tier 1 race. Jura Petrochenko unfortunately making a name for himself with that. Where's he running at the moment? P8. He's got Abeladze and Harry Phillips for company. Lovely livery this season. Pretty sure he ran that livery last season. I'm not sure if he was in the Ferrari though. Got a funny feeling Jura was in the Honda, and he did quite well. He's got Hondas for company at the moment. P8. Abeladze looking to get past though. Still pretty much a second back to Jardier. That gap stayed where it is for Jardier and Luke Whitehead. They haven't moved. Right, I thought we'd never get there, guys. We're halfway almost. Still says we've got 10 minutes worth of rain left, but that's got to be changing soon. Got to have a change in that weather. I think it's going to come probably at about 25 minutes past, or remaining, you know, 25 minutes remaining of this race. So in 10 minutes time, I think rain will end and the track will start to get slightly better. At the moment though, we've got Abeladze and Jura Petrochenko going toe to toe. There was nothing wrong with Sushi or Hondas. Okay, they're fantastic. They are absolutely fantastic. Still raining. Used to stint. Still raining. Let's go on board. Vyacheslav Abeladze. You can tell he's not driving in his cockpit because we've got no windscreen wipers at all. Either that or he's using goggles. Caracas getting close to Leon Byrne. Abeladze diving for the inside into 12. helicam the rest of this, because I think that's a move. Up to P8. Petchenko getting showed the outside there. He'll try. Oh, he does. Puts the nose up the inside into 13. Fantastic recovery there. And he's going to have the run into 15 because of that. Good stuff from Petchenko. Abeladzei's going to try the cutback. Get a better run because he knows he's got a good run through 17 and 18 if he can get the pace on him. But I think Dura's going to hold on to that position for another lap. Some nice use of lines there from Abeladzei, but I don't think that's come off for him. Never mind. He stuck his head out the window with his tongue out. Definitely. That's exactly what's going on. Right. 10 minutes till dry. 10 minutes till dry. Right. That's the update. It's exactly where I said it would be. About 25 minutes remaining. We'll have some dry running. 10 minutes to go, boys. Just 10 minutes to hold on. Right. So when do they pull the trigger on the old round things? I reckon 15 minutes to the end, possibly. Rudy, welcome. Greetings. Guten Abend to you too. We have a yellow flag somewhere. No idea who that's for. Racing again. Whitehead and Jardier still battling out. 8 tenths between them. 40-minute mark for fresh donuts. I reckon so. I think we're probably talking about that, to be honest. As soon as the rain stops and that dry line forms, it might work. Simeon, I didn't realise you're from Australia. Welcome. Good day to you too. Valentine Barrier still there. Tinker van der Velde still in the background too. Abeladzei's going to have another go here. A little bit further back, I think. Leon Burnt is getting close to what's going on ahead. It looks like we might have missed a little change up here. Leon Burnt looks like he's probably been overtaken by Grantis Caracas for P4. So Grantis looks like he's got waved through. And then Tadas looks like he wants to get past now. Usually in the 45 to 40 minute mark people get the urge to pit. To be fair, I reckon we probably would have had, if this was a dry race, we would have had a majority of the drivers pitted already now. I reckon we've got this situation that we're in because of the wet weather. I reckon most of the drivers, we might have even had some alternate strategies going on where some drivers right at the very back decided to do something a little bit different. But unfortunately that's been forced out of the question because of the current situation with the precipitation, sorry. Leon Burnt's falling back though from Grantis Caracas, so that's that done. I think Grantis has got his position. Let's have a look, see what's going on with the battle we were looking at earlier. So Abeladzei, Petchenko, Valentine Barrier. This is what we were interested in earlier on. We'll keep an eye on what happens with Tadas and Leon Burnt for 5th. At the moment, this is probably one of the spiciest that we've got going. Inside the top 10. De Campo and Kern are very close. Say that, they've just changed. Right, seeing as we've got a little bit of a break, I'm just going to check what's going on. See if we've got any news coming from race control. Let's have a look. We have a lot. Indeed. No further action by a lot of things here, so I won't get into anything that's all no further action. We did have a 10-second time penalty for car 70, which, let's just scroll down. That's Aidan Walsingham What was that for? Responsible for causing minor avoidable collision. We got a 10-second time penalty, no licence points for him. I think that's the only penalty that we've got on the board at the moment. It seems to be quite... 5-second time penalty, sorry, for car 44. Let's have a look who that is as well. 44. That rings bells for me. Who's 44? It's Dimitrov. Okay, so Dimitrov and Einar Walsingham with penalties this afternoon. But that's it. I think apart from that, we're all good. No dramas so far. Apart from the fire that we had at the very beginning of this race. But it seems to have sorted itself out now. We're all good now, which is fine. Question of the day. Does Jardier pit first or follow Luke in? Now, Mateus Leto's got himself a penalty, 20 seconds. We missed that in the race control. That must have just happened, so I'm not too sure what that's for. Interesting. That is an imposed penalty. We might have to just quickly check in a minute. Surprising us at the spicy first few laps. I know, considering the track, surprising that we've had, to be fair, no huge incidents. But yeah, there you go. Leto might have been the incident that we saw with Nuttall earlier on today. That could have been what happened earlier on, round about that kind of area, wasn't it? But who knows? I might just quickly check what's going on with that. I didn't see anything for it. There you go. So responsible for causing a moderate avoidable collision. So car 20 and 27. There was 2 licence points given out for that. The car affected was 27, which was Mateus Leto. That was 27. 317 was the car that was affected. Excuse me. 317 was Nikita Bogrodowski, so that was why he ran away. So it was obviously no fault of his own. He got absolutely yeeted and off to Narnia. That's who was responsible. He's got himself 20 seconds on the old time screen. Abeladzzi still trying to get past Juro Petrochenko with no luck in sight. We've probably got about 5 minutes worth of rain left, guys, and this is where we'll see the stuff happening. Jardier's dropped outside of that second window that's so crucial to hold on to. Tadas is inside of 5/10. I can't drive on board, unfortunately, with Abeladzzi because of the situation he's confronted with the windscreen. But yeah, this is the race that we got here at the moment. Abeladzzi versus Petrochenko. Petrochenko moving to the inside to defend his line. Abeladzzi screeching off to the outside to try and get a better break down into turn 1. He's going to try and get a better line, but he holds the car in a good position so he can get a run on the next couple of corners, but doesn't manage to put it off. Lost a bit of time by changing positions on the track, but he's going to try for a run through 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, but I think it's all she wrote for that. He's going to have to hold on for another couple of sectors or so. He's got Valentin Barrier for company now. That gap's definitely opened up because of that foray in the first sector, not coming to Abeladzzi's, not coming his way at all. Never mind. Tinker van der Velde you saw there in the background, also pushing on the back of this pack too. He's the reigning champ for a reason. Right, we've still got rain. Track's damp, temperature 26 degrees, ambient at 20. Might see some changes to that weather pattern very, very soon. We'll stay with this race at the moment, just because it's the most spicy that we've got at the moment. Tadas is getting close though, maybe slightly closer than what we can see here, and it is for 5th place. Whether we should move up to see what Tadas is doing. Go for a move to turn 12. He doesn't. Will Abeladzzi do the same? No. It's got Valentin Barrier for company now. Plot thickens. Surprising, but yes. Right. We have no rain. The rain has run away, and it happened bang on where I said it would. 25 minutes left on the clock. The rain has dissipated. We have got now 24 minutes of dry running, well, at least for the track to dry up. So, I think at the 20-minute mark, once we've got some form of dry line, we might see someone coming in, someone pulling that trigger, someone doing something different. They have to do it at some point, but when? When indeed. Right, let's go on board with Abeladzzi, because he's going to give us a very good scale on when it's dry enough, because he's got no blooming windscreen wipers. There's definitely no rain in front of him anymore. Whether that line dries up quick enough. The spray, definitely. There's nothing coming down. that deep for Petrochenko? It looked like a lunge into turn 1. Vaishlav tried, but I'm not sure he's going to have the pace there to get it done. A little twitch there from Dura. A chink in the armour for the Honda. Offline. Oh! Vaishlav Abeladze tries to move it up turn 6, but he's not going to get it done there. Waits for 7. Gives the place back. He tried his luck. Didn't come off for him. But that's put him well into the clutches of Valentin Barrier and Tinker van der Velde. We've got a 4-way tussle here, boys. And girls. 23. Sorry, excuse my snowflakeness. Right. Abeladze looking for positions here. He's hunting. Valentin Barrier is with him. We've got dry running. Who's going to pull the trigger first? That is the main question of the evening. And I don't know who. But it could be one of these guys. So let's stay with them. Got on board. Abeladze looking for the outside line into turn 12. Oh, Dura's gone deep. Dura has gone very deep. And he's lost that position 100% with Strawberries on top. He's lost 3, actually, not just 1. That's how close these guys were going. Valentin Barrier, Abeladze and Tinker van der Velde take the position away from Dura Petrochenko. We're now 8th for Abeladze, 9th for Valentin Barrier and 10th for Tinker van der Velde. Good stuff from those boys. Now we can see what pace that this man's got here. If I was Petrochenko, I think now would be a fantastic time to try something different. So, does the man pull in from Whipperman Racing? Does he go, let's try a different strategy, let's try a different tyre? He doesn't. He continues with the programme, as does everyone else. No pitters yet. Let's go down a little bit further, see if we've got anyone else thinking they might do something different. I don't think we do. Dimitrov still the top driver who's pitted, and we've got no one trying anything different at this stage. I'll quickly go through the grid again. Unfortunately, without Jay here, I'm going to have to do this manually. No changes throughout. Right, what's Tadas doing? Nothing spectacular at the moment. Leon Burnt still holding him off. 2 seconds now, the gap between the top 2. Luke Whitehead's managed to pull away. And Tadas actually looks like he just got up the inside into turn 7. He has done. Tadas making it past Leon Burnt. Leon obviously having a bad first sector there. And we got lucky with that camera change. Jovanekis is up into P5. Leon Burnt has fallen down a position. I mean, it's a risk, isn't it, for these guys to change the tyres? It is a real risk, but I think it might come this lap. I think some people might try something slightly different. I mean, what's the worry now, especially if you've fallen behind? Someone who could benefit from it would be the likes of Dura Petrochenko, would be the likes of Tinker van der Velde, as Valentin Barrier tries to get past Abeladze, doesn't make it happen. We'll go on board with Tinker, see what he can do. Whereabouts are we on track? Oh, we're between 11 and 12. We're going down the back straight. Dispatches Barrier then. It's nice to see. Or does he? Barrier dispatches Abeladze. Excuse me. Tinker van der Velde then watches on as these guys go toe to toe. Right, there is still water on the track. I can see it, and obviously we've still got the windscreen wiper going from Tinker van der Velde. It's not time yet. Abeladze thinks it is though. He pulls it in. He wants a change of those tyres. It's the first pitter to give it a go, give it a crack, try something different. The 579 car pulls it in. So does Lee. Alexandra Lee has pulled it in from P12. As the only pitters at this stage. It could prove a vital tool to get up. And I think we've had some more. Latho's come in. He's going to serve his penalty too. I think that's Naldi just up ahead in P16 who's come out. But he pitted, so not too sure what's going on there. Let's see if I can find out some information about what happened with that pit. Who else has called it? Oh no, we've got lots of pitters, that's why. That's Bonsfield, sorry, not Naldi. It's the second Aston, the only other Aston we've got. Tarasov pulled it in. Salsky, Kuhn, Manisha, Nuttall, Stroza, Watson, Papin, Bonsfields, Dimitrov, Walsingham, and Perez have all pulled the trigger. McCovin has come in. Andy William has come in. Mikowski has also come in. Latho, Lee, as I said earlier, also coming in the pit. They're doing it now. They've noticed that there's a chance to improve, and they've decided to pull the trigger. Now, what happens with these guys? This is the big question. And they're... how far away are we? We're coming up to it. Whether these top boys decide to pit, you know, that is the real question. We're on board with Jardio at this stage. We actually got some traffic coming up. We could be a perfect time to pit. I think, knowing Luke, he might just do it first. 18 minutes to go. Benefit of the tyre is going to be minimal. Cover your back. Might be wise just to come in. You've seen a lot of people pit around you. Let's just see. Let's just see what the leader does. Veloci guy pulls dramatically to the left. He does. Jardier stays out then. Chess moves begin. He doesn't think that it's the fastest way round at the moment. Jardier stays out and takes the lead of this race. Statsenko in second place. Grantis Caracas has also pulled the pit card. So Statsenko, excuse me. Don't know who that was in the background. Harry Phillips has also done the pit stop. Valentin Barrier has done it too. Tinker van der Velde has done it too. Right, so let's go back to the likes of Jura Petrochenko. He hasn't pitted yet. So who did we see pit earlier? It was Abeladze that we saw pit earlier. This is our main benchmark then to see how much time you can make up. He was fighting with Valentin Barrier, Tinker van der Velde at the time, and Jura Petrochenko. So let's see how much time it makes you if you pull the pin a little bit earlier than everyone else. Is he struggling on that tyre at this stage? I'm not sure he is. Maybe it's not worth as much as you think because of the condition of the track. Might be at a slight detriment. If it is though, that's huge benefit to the likes of Jardier up ahead. We'll find out momentarily. So he's got to come out at the same kind of time as Tinker van der Velde and Valentin Barrier, 9th and 10th. We'll see where they are soon enough as he comes round the final corner. Right, let's go into the helicam so we can see roughly what's going on around him. Where are the boys who he was fighting earlier on? We'll see them exiting roughly now. I think it might have been just about okay. There they are on the left-hand side. He's going to be braking hard. I don't think he's got it done. He hasn't, but he's going to have the warmer tyre, so he's going to get past. I don't think that time benefit was there for him. He's lost position to Tinker van der Velde. He might close on him here because he's got much more life in that tyre at this stage. We're at the outside of 4. That is brave from Abeladze. Tinker van der Velde. Looks like they touched slightly, but he has made that move almost stick. Fantastic driving from these guys. Abeladze holding his line. Through 7 they go, and I think he's going to hold on to that position change. Tinker van der Velde is not happy at all with that. Wouldn't be surprised if we get some flashing of the lights. But that's the position done for Abeladze. Did it earn him a position on track? I think it probably made him suffer slightly. So, that's good for Jardier. He's pulled it in now. What happened to Luke Whitehead? Did he have an easy way round? Who knows? Looks like he's had to contend with a bit of traffic. I think maybe slightly too early for the pit stop. Slightly. Mattia de Campo just ahead. On track as well. Luke Whitehead thrown massively into the mix here. As we've got the likes of Petrochenko, Naldi, de Campo up ahead who haven't pitted. Right, whereabouts is Jardier in all of this? He's still stationary as Luke Whitehead is coming through the final sector. We'll flick between the both of them. Where's Jardier? He's been released. He has been released. Luke Whitehead then is stuck behind Mattia de Campo as he moves out the way. I think Jardier might have this here. He's coming down that back pitch straight very slowly. Luke Whitehead's just exited turn 20. Where's Jardier? Has he hit that pit line? I don't think he has. We'll go, I think, on board with him. Oh, it feels like forever. Luke Whitehead's going to be gaining. Where is he going to be? He's actually absolutely munched him, I think, there. Never mind. Yeah, Luke Whitehead's got some time clean away. Jardier, unfortunately, not making that work for him. Jura Petrochenko is leaving the pit now. Let's see if this worked for him in his battle with the guys behind. I think we had Valentin Barrier that he was fighting with. I'm not sure that's going to be beneficial for him. Let's have a look. No, it's not. No, it's not indeed. He's just left the pit. He's lost positions to both Abeladze and Tinker van der Velde. Well, there you go. Jiro Petrochenko, yeah, losing out massively. He was behind him though, wasn't he? So he didn't gain anything by waiting slightly. And he's not going to gain anything in the long run either. Yes, he's going to have fresher tyres, but some of the guys ahead of him. That time to come in later is definitely not the one. You need to come in as early as possible, I think, to gain the time here this afternoon, and it proves it. Look at the gap between Jardier and Luke Whitehead. 6, nearly 7 seconds. Statsenko has actually gained on Jardier in that period, and he's going toe-to-toe with the second place man, going down towards turn 12. I think Jardier is at real risk here to lose his second place position. I think he's actually lost it. Let's go on board at the helicam to see exactly where they are. Toe-to-toe, Statsenko just ahead, and he's on the better side to get the position here. There's a touch in the braking zone. Jardier cuts across aggressively. Well, there you go. Little touch in the braking zone. Jardier might hold on to that position, but that was very, very touch and go. But I'm not sure Jardier really moved. Interesting. Did Whitehead pit too? He did. Whitehead pitted before Jardier pitted, so that's why we had that move earlier on. Grantis Caracas getting very close to these guys too now. We might see some moves from him as this race progresses. We've got a perfect seat here from Grantis's car as we watch the Veloce, I must say, number 2 driver trying to make his way behind these two battling gladiators up ahead. Statsenko trying every single move in the book to get past Jardier. Jardier's definitely on the back foot here. 12 minutes to go. Jardier holding position again. It's good enough. I think he's going to be under a lot of pressure. No one's as competitive as a teammate, exactly. I just don't think Grantis has had the best of races this afternoon. He's not capitalised on the incidents that's gone on around him. I mean, qualifying was tough for everyone, I know. Luke Whitehead came out, performed instantly at the perfect time. Managed to get himself that finish exactly when he needed it. He didn't bother with any of the wet running until he had to. Put the lap down. And I mean, fantastic. He is sneaking up at the moment. That's why we're with him. Grantis Caracas is the man on fire at this stage of the race. He loves these these drying conditions. Sorry, he's got the car that you want to be in the dry conditions. We're still greasy, but it's getting better every lap. These boys battling just ahead has lost Jardier another second to Luke Whitehead. I think he knows that race is gone. Tinker van der Velde is getting close to Abeladze as well. 9/10 between those two, but this is the real battle that you can see ahead. Statsenko and Jardier for second place. Statsenko wants to improve on where he finished last time out. I'm pretty sure it was 4th. I want to say 4th. Let's see. It was 4th. Grantis Caracas, the guy we're watching right now, the number 912, finished in 3rd place. So they've swapped round slightly. Oh, that is a tap and a half. Statsenko getting pushed off track there by Jardier. I'm not too sure what the stewards are going to do in that case. I mean, it's just racing. I know this is a nice little bit of air and space for Jardier here. Statsenko didn't get a good exit, or didn't get a good corner really in turn 20. He's had to make do. Jardier shows him the side of his car. They were racing so close though. I mean, there's always going to be contact. And Grantis Caracas needs to make the most of what's going on in front of him now. Needs to do it. Needs to get past. Statsenko, though, I think really is the attacking car in this situation. Jardier is the one who's struggling, so Statsenko's just, really capitalising on what happens in front of him. I think Statsenko at the moment's the fastest. Grantis Caracas is just as fast as him. Jardier, though, is definitely on the back foot. Not much going on around. Bukowski's getting close to Tarasov. We'll keep an eye on that. Latho and Kuhn with their penalties back there, 15 seconds and 10 each. Luke streaking away. Exactly. lubricated by his nose, using the full force of his influenza to gain a lovely advantage. The track is fast and hot, 27 degrees. It should play into the arms of the Porsche now. We've got low fuel, high tyre deck. No, low tyre deck with high grip levels. Should be everything he wants and hopes for right now. He literally can smell blood from this at this stage. He is sharking away. Fastest lap coming from Naldi back there. Very strange, the 270 there, doing a fantastic lap it seems. Shall we see what it is? A 207.742 is the fastest so far. Luke Whitehead, his fastest is a 208.2. So Naldi going incredibly fast back there. What the hell is he doing? He's had his Weetabix, obviously. Jaws music, yeah, intensifies, doing it. Tarasov for the penalty. Don't know where that's come from. I daren't take my eyes off the screen at the moment with what's going on with Statsenko and Jardier just ahead. Many sweating moments must be happening between these two. Much sweating. Solo Aston representing, indeed, and in full force. Naldi's got himself a 5-second as well. Oh, Grantis Caracas almost losing the back of the car. That'll lose him some time. I think we are almost just out of range of getting a nice shootable viewpoint of the race ahead. We'll stay with him just for a second. If not, we might just have to jump to the outside view of these boys now, just to get us towards the end of this race. 7 to go then, guys. I know it's been a slightly extended version of this race today, so I can only apologise. It was quite a laugh though, I'm not going to lie. Where are we next week? Might as well get that out the way so we don't have to wait to the conversation at the end. Hungaroring will be the third race of season 12. We'll hopefully have Jay back by then. He would have successfully exited the wildebeest, I'm sure, and will be back in full fighting force as a duo, as normal. Takes a bit of pressure off me. It's harder to do it solo, I'm not going to lie. Violins at the ready, boys. Juro Petrichenko reclaims that fastest lap there. Let's go on board then, Statsenko. Is it going to be a last lap lunge, boys? Or is he going to do it before then? Let's have a look at what happened with this, with the first poll that I did not too long ago. Who do you want to win? Jardier with 44% of the votes, Luke with 37, Leon with 12, and Tadas with 6%. A lot of Jardier fans here. I mean, he's not going to get the win today, but can he hold on to second place? I hope so. Be interesting to see. Put yourself another poll there, boys, to keep you interested. Top race, top stream, great commentary, 10 out of 10. Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate it, buddy. It's just me on my own today, so it's a hell of a lot harder. Appreciate your love and support, mate. If you've been with us since the beginning, do watch it back. The first half an hour was chaos. Absolute, unadulterated chaos. As you would normally expect from AOR, we had restarts, which I've never seen in all of my however many years with AOR. We've never restarted a race. I mean, unprecedented times. I think I've been with AOR since season 7, maybe? And what, we're season 12 now. There you go. Season 8, maybe? Season 7, round about there. Can't remember, to be honest. Never seen a restart in all of those races, but we've seen one today. So there you go. Statsenko, incredibly close. Jardier, oh god, I want him to get P2. I think I might have to I might have to vote in this poll, you know. Where does Jardier sit in the points? Right, well, let's do a little bit of maths while we wait to see what happens. Obviously, I'll let you guys enjoy and watch. Jardier finishes where he is. He'll get 88 points. I will physically get a calculator as Statsenko gets incredibly close onto the back of the YouTuber's anus. Jardier's on 39. He will add on to that 39 tally 88 points. So it'll be 127 points in total. He will move up, I think, probably into the top 5. Don't know where he'll be, but he'll be roughly around there. Statsenko, if he gets it, he will definitely be second place, I think, at this stage, because he will be on a total, oh goodness, 88 plus 72. He'll be on 160. I don't know why I used a calculator for that. That was easy maths. Where will Jardier be? He will be top 5, I assume. Grantis Caracas, where will he be if he finishes where he is? Grantis Caracas, 79, and he's currently 4th place. That will get you 72 points. That will be 151. So, it's close between Statsenko and Grantis Caracas for the championship at this stage. So, it's the green man's position in the standings to lose, as it will. If Grantis Caracas stays where he is and Statsenko gets past Jardier, then he will jump him in the standings, which will be very interesting for everyone. So yeah, there's some changes afoot. Luke Whitehead will be 200 points and far clear of everyone else if he continues on the pace he is at the moment. So there you go. We'll leave Stats corner. Why is Luke so good? I mean, he's just had a very lucky... He's not lucky. He's had a very fortuitous turn of events, I think, that has stopped a lot of people around him from giving him a hard race today. Jardier being one of those, Leon Burnt being the other, Weather being one of those, and obviously George Boothby starting in 35th. And Minnie Simeon seems to think that he's a raging meth addict, so you know, all of those things combined into Luke Whitehead's masterclass of domination today. He has actually lost some time. He was, I think, 8 seconds ahead. He's now down to 6, so he may be a wizard, but he's also doing some naughty things. I think Jardier will hold him off. Not even a restart for Paul Ricard's 2-3 second pile-up. Long. You're quite right. I don't want to pronounce your name wrong, but the G-man there is a long timer there if he knows what happened with the Paul Ricard. Jura Petrichenko causing chaos. It's the second time we've spoken about that incident in this race. Let's end that poll then, because I think everyone who was taking part of it probably saw it. So 60% of you think no, Statsenko can't pass for P2. Only 39% of you say yes. Well, there you go. I'm just funning, don't kill me, Luke. I don't think Luke's going to. You're all fine in the Luke area. Oh, the 88 car could cause chaos here. Not sure it did. Tinker van der Velde looking for a move round the outside, moves to the inside. Jardier covers it off with a flurry of defensive moves. Statsenko looking for the inside of turn 11. He's not going to get it, but he is. Oh, Jardier pushed to the outside of the rumble strip. I think he might hold on down the straight, but that was a disastrous time to have traffic. Jardier's still there. He's managed to keep his car in the right kind of area. He needs to hold this position. He needs to go around the corner at exactly the same pace. There's touching. Oh, Statsenko knew what happened last time. They've had rubbings before. I'm afraid the poll was wrong, boys. Statsenko moves past Jardier for P2 with 7 seconds to go. It was a last lap lunge. Luke Whitehead's coming through the final flurry of corners, and that is for position on the last lap of the race. Oh my goodness, Jardier cries in desperation. The flu and influenza all comes out of him. Grantis Caracas isn't going to be able to do anything to stop. I'll jump up to today's winner for the end of this race, because it's been a fraught race for a lot of people, but not for this man. Luke Whitehead claims another win for AOR, solidifies his position at the top of the standings. Statsenko manages to muscle his way through. Jardier coming through in 3rd place. Grantis Caracas holds on for 4th. Tadeusz Jovaninkas, fantastic race from him. Leon Burnt coming across the line in 6th place. Great finish for him. Valentin Barrier getting across the line for Brabham Esports. Harry Phillips, the man of the hour, in 9th place. Abeladze, unfortunately, with Tinker van der Velde just behind. Oh, they come together at the finishing line. I'm not too sure what that was all about. Alexander Lee in 11th. Jurapetchenko crosses the line in 12th. He's probably going to be a bit disappointed with that. Luke Southall all on his own in that very pig-looking SOP Esports BMW in 13th place. Matteo Naldi will come across the line in 14th, but we do have a penalty for him, so he might not be 14th because I think Naumann Makowski will take that away from him. We'll see that happen in a minute. Latho, Kern, Tarasov all finish, but God knows where they're going to finish. Salski will be in 20th place, but probably gets jumped up because of all the penalties going on around. Samir Foch de Campo. Bogorodski come across the line too. McWilliam, Lynn Anderson and Nuttall will be a mile off. I'm not too sure where he is, but I'll stop talking about them now. I'm glad they all finished because it's been a chaotic one. Luke Whitehead, though, with the win this evening. Guys, first of all, thank you for everyone who stuck around after the chaos that ensued at the beginning of this race. I do appreciate it. Thank you everyone for the support on how it went today. And secondly, thank you for all of the guys working in the background to get that issue sorted, whatever it was. We managed to sort it. We've moved on. Whew, never mind. Right, well, as always, I think it's time to see if we can have a chat with the boys who did well. I think we'll get a little chat definitely from Live Story Luke. We'll probably get Jardier come in. I'm not sure Statsenko will come in. I've not spoken to him so far this season, so I'm not too sure if we will get him, but you never know. We'll invite as always, but whether they come in I don't know, but we'll try. I'll try my best for you. Right, 1 second boys, let's see if we can get some guys in for a chitty chat. Right, let's see if we've got anyone lined up for a conversation. We don't at the moment, but I've asked everyone to come on over. I didn't think that was going to happen, I'm not going to lie. I didn't think Statsenko was going to be able to pull that off at the end there, but he did. He absolutely did. I want to listen to the stewards after that race. Well, so do we. Boothby quit. I think he did. Called it early because we had some incidents around at the very beginning of that for him. So yeah, disaster struck. We do have Luke the Ripper for a little chat, so let's drag him in and have a conversation. Luke Whitehead, can anyone stop this rise to power that you seem to be on this season? I mean, fortuitous events with the weather, and thank goodness for the restart. At one point, did you almost throw the towel in? I did also hear that you are dying today as well, so we'll go easy on you.
Yeah, well, first off, hello, Ray.
Hi.
Sad to see that Jamie's not here. Hopefully he'll be back next week. But yeah, really fortuitous. I mean, I was panicking a little bit after the first start because obviously we got pole somehow. I don't know how I managed to get the lap together. I mean, we were 41st until that lap. I only had that was my only lap that I did. That was the only lap I did in that entire quali session. So I'll be honest, I was sweating a bit. I'll be honest, it was pretty intense, and obviously, yeah, got away at the start. Had really good pace in the wet. Me and Jards were like, I think we were about, on average, about 3 to 4 attempts quicker than anyone else. And then eventually I started putting on Jards, and then, yeah, made the perfectly timed pit stop. I don't think I really could have got it any better, which meant that we pulled away from Jards. And yeah, it's a shame really, because I think I would have had better pace in the dry, but I went a little bit safer on the setup to make sure I didn't spin in the rain, because I know the Porsche likes to do a swapper in the S's, so I lowered the rear ride type by a click or two. And at the end, I was just understeering, just had no front and no pace. So it was, yeah, quite lucky that we were so quick in the wet and that it paid off.
Ah, okay, so it was the other way around. I thought you'd come alive in the dry weather, but obviously you suffered a little bit. I mean, I did notice you pulled 8 seconds and then it dropped down to about 6. So, obviously struggling at the end there, but Jard was under a lot of pressure with Statsenko. There was some racing going on between them, let's say. But I mean, mate, fantastic race. I'm glad they restarted it for you. As you know, I've never done that, and I haven't ever seen that in however many seasons I've been with
I mean,
AOR.
it was like 3/4 of the grid was just gone. I mean, I was in a voice chat with George and with Jards and obviously with Barrier and those guys, and like George was gone, Barrier was gone, Grantus was gone, and then I was gone, and then everyone was gone, and like it was just chaos, absolute chaos. So I'm glad they did restart it, because I think if they hadn't, it wouldn't have gone down well with many people. But I think
it would just have to be written off.
They did a, I mean, yeah, like shout out to Shooter and the other admins, like they all just did a phenomenal job to get it back up and running. Like I can't applaud the guys enough. You know, if that was a sim grid race, they just red flagged it there and there, as they did in, you know, VCO. Because I mean, you know, considering how, you know, your guys, obviously you're not as large scale as some of these other establishments, but you got it done. You know, and it was I've got to say a massive thank you, and you know, massive props to the admins.
Well,
the guys running this are absolute heroes.
They populated that grid from qualifying in less than 10 minutes, which I mean, that's fantastic to even start to do that. So yeah, hats off to those boys. I mean, I already shouted that out earlier. It was chaos and it was fun to watch, but yeah, hats off to the admins for keeping it going.
Yeah, exactly.
Really good.
Phenomenal job from them. And I mean, even last week it happened. You know, they had the DDoS attacks on you know, on the Monday, and obviously they managed to stop that. And obviously this one, I think, was a combination of server problems and also DDoS, I assume.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Not sure what it's been attributed to, but
it could be anything.
It could
be anything.
It could at this stage. I mean, it's the first time we've run Kota on AOR as well, so
blame Kota.
Let's blame Kota. You can blame it for a lot of things, to be fair. Well done, mate.
Well, next track is a lot better. So
it is Hungaroring next. I mean, 200 points. You're a good 50 points clear of the next person. So, I mean, let's not cross all our fingers, you know. But fantastic start for what's to come, mate. Can it be a 2-time? I think season 12 might be the one.
Wait.
Well,
you've got Bathurst later on.
We do. 90-minute Bathurst. 90-minute Bathurst as well.
Yeah,
mate.
No, in the Porsche.
Oh,
it
jeez.
sucks.
Well,
I mean, yeah. Next track is my favourite track. So
good.
I hope I can add another 100, but obviously, you know, we'll see. I mean, Misha's looking very strong. Grantus looks very strong. Tazos as well was very quick
good today. Yeah.
Tinko also in practice was very quick. Says, you know, there's so many guys that can just throw a win in there. So
yeah, you're right.
Just got to maximize the opportunities that we've get, and we've done that perfectly so far. So 2 poles, 2 wins. So just got to take it as they come.
Yeah. People are saying in the chat, commentators curse. We're not even going to go into that, mate. It's a good start. Let's move on. Good. Race 3 next week. I'll see you then, Luke. Hopefully on the top spot.
Take care, Rage.
No problem.
Take care, man.
See you soon. Bye. Johnny, welcome and congratulations on a fantastic finish, but could have been better. Obviously, there was some contact in the middle of that little clash you had with Statsenko, and then there was contact on the. I didn't actually realise it was the last lap of the race until I saw, you know, the 7 seconds after the move was done. Do you think that'll get looked at the stewards, or are you just happy to finish? Again, I know that you're suffering today with all sorts of ailments, so are you just happy you got to the end?
Yeah, honestly, like, I'm really happy with the P3. I really, if the race would be completely dry in the quali, I think I would be probably somewhere P10, P8, maybe, you know, because my pace just in the dry wasn't there. And the quali really was lucky for me with I really like these conditions for quali, you know, and especially for the race as well. Like my pace, even with like 31 PSI pressures, the pace was brilliant at the beginning of the race, or like for most of the race. I was very happy. I don't think today I could have done anything better. I just feel a little bit robbed, you know, with the last lap, because I couldn't even defend nothing because the back marker was just there, and I don't know if he didn't see us or he just miscalculated or anything. It was just unfortunate, but it is how it is. And the fight with Misha, I think, you know, it's a GD3 racing, so some little touches can happen. I was just, you know, I think 2 things were a little bit tiny bit too much, you know, trying to squeeze me off the track. But, you know, can't complain, really. Like, I'm happy for P3.
Yeah, I mean...
like P2 would be fantastic, but P3 is still way better than I expected.
I mean, it's fantastic effort. At one point, you know, in that first stint, you were holding on to Luke. Was there a little bit of an inkling there that it could happen again?
Yeah, I was really... I think what happened to me, I had 31 PSI tires, and my tires were literally yellow almost the whole race.
Oh, okay.
While Luke didn't have to cool down the tires almost at all.
I saw you move on the straight, going over the start-finish. I saw you move to the inside a few times, so you were obviously suffering with heat, right?
Yeah, the rear tires were like, first of all, like all the tires were 31 PSI, but the rear tires were like yellow.
Okay.
So I was trying to cool them down all the time. So I wasn't even losing the slipstream, nothing. I was just trying to cool them down. which kind of worked. But I feel like maybe I made a little mistake. I should have probably go higher on the brake decks for the race, which I didn't. And I think that probably cost me a bit over the pace. But yeah, like after like first 20 minutes, I was really thinking, man, hey, maybe I can get him, you know, because I was getting closer and closer and closer. And suddenly from lap to lap, Luke suddenly started going way faster.
I mean, if that pit maybe went slightly differently and you were maybe able to stay within a couple of seconds of him, he struggled at the end, and he got that gap about 8 seconds to you, but obviously you were then fighting Stutsenko, and then obviously, you know, he said he was having lots of different problems with understeer, and you know, there could have been a possibility at the end of the race, but I mean, obviously you had your own problems at that stage. But I mean, it was a fantastic race to watch. I was going to ask one other question, obviously, because we had the changes at the beginning, and thank goodness, you know, we managed to get the race going again. We started in the wet condition. Did you have a setup ready to go? Because obviously you said you struggled with you know, tire pressures. Was that, do you think, contributed to the restart on the wet as opposed to a restart on the dry?
Yeah, obviously, like I haven't had a single practice lap in a wet. You know, I just did like a half a lap in a wet in a quali, I think, on the wet tires. And then going to the race, I literally took my completely dry setup and I just did the pressures and such. But I think it was a good choice. I just think I miscalculated tiny bit with the pressures, plus with the brake decks, probably most importantly. But my pistol, by the way, was completely fine. The only difference was the Luke and Misha pitted one up earlier.
Yes.
So they did massive undercut on those dry tires already, which later helped me against Luke at least, because I think my tires just like that 1 lap difference can be big in this game on going from wet to dry. Yeah. But yeah, I don't think even if I would be 3 seconds closer, I don't think I would do anything. I think Luke was just untouchable today.
He was very quick.
I'm just sad I couldn't defend properly in the last lap, you know?
It's a shame. It is a shame. I mean, everyone on the chat was like, oh my God, it's not going to happen. No one thought that Stutsenko was going to get par. I put a poll out and it's like massively in your favour. You had a lot of support today. But anyway, congratulations on another podium. It's great to see your name up there. You'll solidly, I think, be inside the top 5 of the championship. So a couple more of those good positions, mate, and you could be right on up there again. So well done.
Oh, yeah. We need more rain.
We need more rain, indeed. Thanks, though, for joining us. Appreciate it. It's always a pleasure.
Hey, thank you, guys. Thank you.
No problem. Speak soon.
See you.
There we go, boys. That was the man himself, Jardier, giving us a little lowdown of how his race went. Well, it was a long one for everyone involved today, and we had some absolute heroics going on in the back rooms by the boys that power these. Many hamsters were turning to get that server restarted, and we managed to do it. So hats off to them at the very start, and yeah, we got it going. Hey, join us tomorrow for another attempt at Kota. Let's hope it goes a little bit better. It will be Tier 2. It will be with the normal boys. Can't remember. I think it'll be John Watts and Tim who will be taking you round for Tier 2. So do join them for tomorrow at about 7:30, same time, same place. If you want to find out what happens in Tier 1, then it'll be next week around the Hungaroring. Luke said it's his favourite track. Anything can happen, guys. I'll see you then.